Hello, everyone. My name is Rico, and today on Wake It Up Wednesday, we will be talking about kink. Wait, wait, hold on. No, we don't want to do a news, but we want to. Oh my god! Bam! Bam! Oh my god! Kink for me is very freeing, it's very uplifting, and it's just removing a lot of the shackles that was placed on me as a black male growing up in Chicago, living in these environments that are so restrictive and tell you not to ever live your true life and be free. You can't sag, you can't walk, you can't talk, you can't do any of the things that would be freeing to you as a gay man, because anything seen that's not masculine, especially from you as a black gay man growing up in different environments, growing up on the south side of Chicago, growing up in the south suburbs, black and white spaces, no matter what, you're restricted to not truly be what you naturally feel would come out of you. And with that, kink frees me. So exploring all the new things that I have the agency to be like, this is what I'm choosing to see, what I truly enjoy when it comes to sex, and not what society says I should enjoy from sex, is what kink is to me. One of my favorite experiences living on the north side of Chicago within the last year has been going to this new sex positive, kink friendly party called Slut Party or Ecstasy. It for me is very freeing because I get to exist in my truest form, being naked or dressing up in a sexy costume that could be seen as like a stripper costume, or it could be seen as feminine, and not having that restriction of saying, oh, is this too much ever placed upon me, because at the end of the day, I like it. I am in a space where everyone else is wearing what they like and being their true selves, losing the restriction of judgment and only being is nice. It's really nice. So within that space, I've been learning a lot more about myself and what I do and don't like. And definitely the more dominant side of me has been coming out more and more. The idea of me degrading a grown man and making him my bitch and just simply existing within that, I think that's very sexy. I really do enjoy the freeness and the liberty that I get with just being a dom or exploring that side of me, because my entire experience growing up as a gay black man was more of a submissive, because I was always trying to please whoever I was with, because I felt like that is just how I would get the validation of acceptance, because I always felt not accepted in any space that I was in. So I grew up like that, and with that came a lot of bad experiences, a lot of bad experiences that harmed me and just crippled me from ever truly becoming the person I am today. Kink for me is just liberation. Black people are absolutely not ever told that being in kink spaces are okay, because say fisting, for example, when we talk about fisting, people heavily criticize fisting because in theory, yeah, it sounds ridiculous and crazy, but if you've never experienced it, can you really talk about it? And that's kind of been my mindset going into the kink community, is let me experience these things before I judge it. Now, if I don't enjoy it, or if I have an experience that I don't like, which I have, then I'm just not going to do it no more. Doesn't mean I have to talk about it, because at the end of the day, that's for other people. But yes, like pup play, yeah. I mean, in theory, very easy to try to make fun of, but I can absolutely see where that role play adds so much healing for people, but also can be sexy for people. I really like to take ownership over the person that I'm having sex with. So, like choking, smacking, dirty talk, eye contact, worshiping, getting worshipped. I think the number one thing that I really do enjoy is being worshipped. And one of my friends actually brought this up over the weekend. It's like, you might have a worship kink. And I said, yeah, like I think I think I do have one. A number one thing for me that I really do enjoy is I love good head. If the head is good, then that's really all I need. That's all. I'm more so I think, because I think the foreplay is something that gets lost so much in sex, because everyone's all ready to just get back into the fucking, and that's the only thing they want to focus on. But for me, I feel like good foreplay is really what makes or breaks sex. Because if we don't have that connection of like, okay, I'm vulnerable with you to really like be kissing you, to give you head, eat your ass, all these things that can be very pleasurable when done right. Because most people suck at it. When it comes to a throat goat, not everyone's a throat goat. They might say they're a throat goat just because they can put it in their throat, but I don't mean nothing. Just because you can put it in your throat don't mean you're a throat goat. Just because you can put it all the way down your throat and get it wet don't mean you're a throat goat. To me, what makes a really good throat goat is good moisture content. You know, like, I don't want to be getting Bath and Body Works. I won't say it should be wet and wild, wet and wavy, but it can absolutely, you know, like, it needs to be a little bit of wet. You know, and sometimes I won't mind a little bit of slob. Also, there should not be any teeth. Now, while I do like a little bit of teeth every now and then, because I don't know, I think I'll have like a little harm kink that goes into there. I don't want no teeth. Like, it should not be teeth. Some people think they can suck me, and you know, my thing is thick and large and long. Like, it's all of those things. And people see it online and they think that it's going to be, you know, like, maybe it's not. Maybe I inflate or edit no, I don't edit it. It is big. So they'll think that they can, you know, handle it, and they won't be able to handle it. Like, and they'll wonder why I'm getting soft, you know? So teeth, you know, it's just something you gotta learn how to tuck and put away when you're trying to like suck on, especially me, you know? I feel like it's not a problem that everyone deals with, but when you're me, you deal with that. And there also has to be some instance of serving. If you're not servicing me, then what are we doing here? You should not be sucking me just for shits and giggles. It needs to be, you know, let's be locked into the moment. Like, eye contact and of service while also moaning and showing me that you are enjoying what you're doing for me, because that is your job. That's why you're here, you know? What gives you some good brownie points while also doing it is absolutely if you have that ass tooted up. And if you shake it, we are in heaven. So I think when it comes to throat goats, and we really talk about that, that needs to be addressed. Like, you need those key factors. But yes, when it comes to a throat goat, that is what you should have. If you want to serve in the way that you say that you are serving, that is how you serve. Now, some people vary, and it's very controversial. Some people actually feel like when you are considered a throat goat, that it actually shouldn't be that wet. Those people are fake. They don't actually like that. They just want your whole. They don't care about you actually giving the true experience, because the real people know. The real people know that when it comes to a throat goat, it needs to be wet. You need to be moaning. I need that eye contact. And if you have the ass jiggle up in there, then you are in the right ballpark. But that is just seriously what makes a good throat goat. But okay, let's move on into the video. Or cruising. Some people can only have sex while cruising, and that in itself I think can be freeing for some people. I don't think sex was ever meant to just only happen in a bedroom. Now, yes, I do think there's responsibility there. Some people can be a lot more responsible when it comes to cruising and the freeness they display their kinks, because you know, some people absolutely do throw their kinks onto other people and don't actually think about, hey, that's your kink. That's not, you don't know if that's this person's kink too, and you don't know if you have that person's consent to also do that with other people. So, you know, like, there's absolutely ways that you can judge these kinks. I don't think you should, unless it's to such an extreme, like exposing yourself to people that have not consented to seeing your naked body. But like with puff play, if no one's hurting anybody, why judge? You know, and that's been kind of a new mantra that I've decided to live by, embracing these spaces, because for so long I would be that person that would judge and critique all these kinks without even understanding it, which I can't even delve into, because if I do that, then I am just being the same as my oppressors. White people judge black people all the time. Is it because they try to understand them? No, it's because they don't understand them and they don't try to. And they actively place the things that they see and perceive from the culture and generalize it and make it a broad statement for all black people. when you criticize kink, you are in yourself doing that same thing. So I've decided to, look at things more with an open mind when it comes to kink. There's actually some stuff that I think black gay men do that is very kink positive that they don't even realize is. Love taps can be considered as a kink, even heavy. And like all these things that play out and we see it all over the internet, we just don't put names on it because we just are seeing it at face value. There's a lot of things in the black community that we do as a kink, but just don't see it as that, you know? Even the idea of, like, for me, one of my biggest kinks going into doing my Twitter, I've always had some type of social media where I was exploring my sexuality through posting myself online. And that in itself has always been a big kink of mine, just having, it's kind of a voyeur kink for myself. Because even when I do OnlyFans today and post all of the things I do today on Twitter, it's not really for monetary gain, but it absolutely is a kink of mine to just be seen by other people, pleasuring myself. It's me knowing that I'm giving pleasure to a bunch of other people online. And that in itself is so sexy to me. It's so hot. Sometimes I do get lost in it and I feel like I have to take a step back from it because then you equate your self-worth to people actually enjoying it. And if no one enjoys it, then you feel like your self-worth diminishes. But in itself, at face value, where I have my friend over the weekend saying, hey, maybe you have a worship kink. That absolutely is the case. I actually love to be worshipped, and it does something for me that is why I even post online today. Like, in reality, if we're really talking about it, I really do enjoy being worshipped, and it's something I'm trying to, like, explore more of and see where does that go and where does that end. And, maybe I do need to step outside of the being worshipped and try to see where me worshiping someone else, being a submissive for someone else, could help me learn more about myself sexually to add even more pleasure to what I do. Because right now in my day-to-day life, I'm more of a top. That is a side, but also likes to, penetrate too. But I don't like to penetrate if it's just going to be like a pump and dump. Like, that's all we about to do. I feel like with that, I kind of lose a lot of the pleasure because now you don't care about me as a entity. You don't care about me showing up and being like how I look, being handsome, like all the things that come with me, my body and stuff. You don't care about this. You only care about my dick. And when you diminish me to just a dick, that is where harm comes into play for me sexually. Because now I can't, it makes me not feel like a person. It makes me feel like an object. So when it comes to sex, I really do avoid pump and dumps and stuff. That's not my style. And that is why the people that I interact with and like have on a day to day, I start building relationships with. And these relationships don't mean that I'm dating them or anything, but just some kind of like strand of humanity of like, okay, I see you as a person. We can coexist as two people who have sex with each other and also get to know each other. And then that's just it. When I turned 30, that's when I learned about building intimacy. And some people, they call it vibing. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. But, I've had instances before then where I was vibing with someone and we talking and stuff, smoking in the car and stuff. But building the true intimacy of just, like, chilling. Let's talk and get to know each other. Let me hear about your day. Let's get comfortable and relaxed with each other before we actually do something. So that we're like, okay, we're good. Like, I like this person. They're sexy. They have everything that I want. Ideally, on the surface level, one of the benefits to doing that is you can wean out the people you actually don't want to have sex with. So sometimes you can have sex with people and you feel like the energy from them just rubs off on you and really fucks up your whole vibe. Like, even if the sex was good, you just feel drained from it the next day. Say you are hanging out with somebody and as you get to know them and talk to them, you're like, okay, something don't feel right. Like, I feel like your energy's wrong. Like, I don't feel like we can talk and I enjoy this. Like, I'm not enjoying our conversation. Then, like, yeah, some people are going to just go and have the sex anyways. I would not do that in today's day because that's a sign. Maybe this person is not someone I should be having sex with. So that's another thing that I've been enjoying about like building intimacy and stuff. But to get back into kink, even with going to these sex parties where I'm being like sex positive and stuff, I've learned that I like to wear lingerie. I actually think it's sexy for me. It does something for me. Wearing sexy outfits is very stimulating for me. So, and even other people, I love a man that wears sexy underwear. The idea of a grown man just wearing something that is supposed to be so feminine, when those things clash, that's where the magic happens. Because then now we are causing conversations and you are visually stimulating. That's how I can explain it, honestly. But yeah, I love so much the intersectionality of masculine and feminine, because when it comes together, it's such a beautiful thing. And within that, you can still have personality that's like feminine or masculine, but when they mix together, it's just so sexy. I think most people call it bitch queen. But when they like come together and they are really, functioning, I think that's so sexy. More kinks of mine that I like. I actually do love to be spanked. I love being spanked. It is such a stimulating thing for me that I had to learn how to like, because ideally most people don't want to be hit. You don't want to be hit. But there's levels to it. Now, say you're being spanked, but they start like that. So it's just that, like, light motion, but then it goes like a little bit more. As you get like deeper into it, it's like the build up. You wouldn't like, when I'm a massage therapist, so I'm not gonna immediately like push into them, but I'll like massage it first and then slowly do more and more. Me using that massage instance and putting it in with spanking, it has taught me how to appreciate spanking, and why when I do it to other people, or when I have it done to me, it's why I like it now. Kind of like fucking too. It's the same thing. You're not gonna just stab someone with your fucking dick inside their fucking hole. You're gonna slowly open them up and then work deeper and deeper, and then once we in there, we in there. It's kind of everything, honestly. Like more people should really think about stuff like that. Pleasure meets and ends where consent starts. So if we are going to talk about all these things, if we're going to talk about spanking, if we're going to talk about massaging, because massaging is also a kink of mine too. I actually love to massage because of that. Now, a lot of people try to abuse that, and that's where I have to hold my ground. Now, if someone's asking me, then no, like, that's not for free. I charge people to massage them because that's how I make my money. Through massage, I've definitely learned how to pleasure my partner a lot better. And whenever I feel as though I am not into the vibe, just like I do when I massage in the work setting, then it's just not for me. Like, this is not what we're gonna do. So to conclude this video, because I've been rambling for a lot, I think I've talked about a lot of good stuff. I really do enjoy kink. This is something that I definitely plan on expanding more on as I explore it. So there might be another video that comes from this. But for now, kink for me is my journey as a black queer man living in Chicago, reclaiming all the things that make me me, and learning what that means on a deeper scale. And that's where I'm going to end this video. I am going to let you guys see my outfit because I do feel like I look cute. But yeah, this is the outfit that I had on today. It's my little overalls. I did put my trade shirt with it, and I actually think it's really cute. And I don't even think I got to show this shirt off, so I'm going to show the back. Let me see. Hello, my name is Rico, and welcome back to Wicked Up Wednesdays, where today we're going to be talking about kink.